Well, good afternoon to you. It is Wednesday, March the 6th, the day after Super Tuesday, when the election seems to be dwindling down to a binary choice of candidate A and candidate B, candidate old and candidate older, candidate I can't remember, and candidate I wish we could forget. But even having said all of that, it is a phenomenal day to try to sneak out and pick up a few redfish on my 360 angler. I am enjoying this kayak. I was at the fishing gear place up on 45 in Houston yesterday, Fishing Tackle Unlimited, and saw that they had one of these decked out with a new pedal drive. Beautiful, beautiful. Didn't have a trolling motor on it, but other than that, pretty much everything, except maybe a power pole for $4,995. And I said to myself, holy Moses! I bought mine used from someone up in northwest Houston off of Facebook Marketplace, and I did not spend near that much. And you said, Mark, how do you have yours decked out? Well, I'll tell you how I have mine decked out. I have a 62-pound thrust trolling motor mounted on the front, and in order to mount this on the front, you can see the way that that is designed. You have to spend about $100 and order that plate that slips into the front of the boat, and then you screw it together for stability, and there you have a trolling motor that you can reach and use from the front. Secondly, I went down to Amazon. I didn't go down to Amazon. I went to Amazon on my phone and I ordered that little Garmin fish finder. It hadn't found very many fish, but it does tell me the depth, and I got it on sale for $99.99. And then on the back, let me turn around, I have my power pole with an 8-foot power pole behind it. And again, I bought it on Facebook Marketplace used. And then I bought the pole. I don't remember where I bought the pole. Maybe Bass Pro Shops. I think that's where I bought the pole at. Bass Pro Shops, because they had the long pole. And that's what I wanted. And then what else have I added to this? I did upgrade and buy the new pedal drive. Mine had the old pedal drive, and I will tell you this, it is worth its weight. Guys, to be honest, I can pedal this kayak almost as fast as that trolling motor can pull it. But there is one difference. I can sit back like this, but when I pedal, I can't do that. So you notice that I have my trusty, rusty 62-pound thrust trolling motor pulling me to my first fishing spot. But I absolutely have loved this kayak. The only thing that I would request is that somehow or another they do a better job of making the hatches waterproof, because when you get into some choppy water, even when the hatches are latched down, it has a tendency to leak a little bit of water. And after I swamped this thing one time, I went ahead and ordered some air bladders for it on Amazon, and there are 2 inflatable air bladders that are pushed way up in the front of the boat, and then there are 2 that are at the rear of the boat, and I check them about every month or 2 to make sure that they are full. I don't know whether that would make a difference, but it sure does make me feel better. But other than that, I absolutely love this kayak. I have enjoyed fishing from this kayak. I have fallen off of it twice. Both times it was my fault. Both times are on video, and maybe I'll include them on the final cut of this video if and only if I catch fish. Otherwise, you'll never see this video in public. That's one of the nice things about making videos. If you catch fish, you put that on there and you think everybody thinks that you're a master. But all those other times when I come out here and I don't catch diddly nor squat, you don't see those. It's kind of like those fishing programs, huh? Well, I went up here the other day. The water was about a foot higher. The water's low again, and I'll be glad when we start getting the tides that are up a little bit more, but right now the tides are low, and there is a group of pylons that used to be an old pier, and I had never fished them until I came out here last week, and I pulled, 4 or 5 sheephead off of them in a real nice 19 or 20-inch redfish. And so we're going to go over there again today and start there. I don't think I'm going to go around the bend, because what I like to do around the bend takes a little bit more water to get to where I want to get, and that water's not there today. So I'm going to go to this spot and then maybe over to the shrimp boat and see what we can find. Again, this is March the 6th. It is a little afternoon. I had some business to tend to this morning, tended to my business, loaded up the kayak and scooted out here. I bought me 1 pound of dead shrimp. I paid my kayak launching fees, total $9.50 at Thompson's fishing camp. And I do wish that Thompson's had a great hamburger. If they did that, I may just move over here. Totally. I don't think so. But I would just love it. I love a good hamburger after I come off the water. And they don't have one. Other than that, it is the perfect spot with amazing people that operate it. I can't speak of them highly enough. And let me... Cheapyhead. Hello, Mr. Cheapyhead. Hello, Mr. Cheapyhead. I see you, Mr. Cheapyhead. Come on. baby, come on. Is it a sheepy? Oh, it's a red. It looks like a little red, but it's a red. Come on, Mr. Redfish. Come on, Mr. Redfish. Come on, Mr. Redfish. Come on, come on. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see how long Mr. Redfish is. Mr. Redfish is 15.5 inches long. 15.5 inches long. Go and grow up.
Wiser than my enemies, for they are my constant guide. Yes, I have more insight than my teachers, for I am always thinking of your laws. I am even wiser than my elders, for I have kept your commandments. I have refused to walk on any evil path, so that I may remain obedient
Hardhead.
to your word. I haven't turned away from your regulations, for you have taught me well. How sweet your words taste to me. They are sweeter than honey. Your commandments give me understanding. No wonder I hate every false way of life. Your word is a lamp to guide my feet, and a light. I've promised it once, and I'll promise it again. I will obey yours and teach me your regulations. My life constantly hangs in the balance, but I will not stop obeying yours. With centuries will do no
It's
good.
bigger.
It is useless for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, anxiously working for food to eat, for God gives rest to his loved ones. Children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from him. Children born to a young man are like arrows in a warrior's hands. How joyful is the man whose quiver is full of them. He will not be put to shame when he confronts his accusers at the city gates. Psalm 128. How joyful are those who fear the Lord, all who follow his ways. You will enjoy the fruit of your labor. How joyful and prosperous you will be. Your life will be like a fruitful grapevine, flourishing within your home. Your children will be like vigorous young olive trees as they sit around your table. That is the Lord's blessing for those who fear him.
Let's see how big he is.
Psalm 131.
Oh, almost 18. Almost 18.
I don't concern myself with it.
Well, we fished the Pylons for a good hour, hour and a half or so, and caught 2 or 3 reds and a bunch of sheephead. There is a marsh system that is between Shell Point and Houston Point that is almost inaccessible behind these little islands. The water is super, super shallow. If you look back several months ago, I took a drone and flew it over that area when one of the northers blew all the water out, and you could just see how empty it was. However, there is a cut that goes through to the back from the bayfront. The first one is too shallow, and I think that there's 1, 2, 3, and if I'm not mistaken, it's this one that is just barely deep enough to get through. Now, I've already pulled up my trolling motor, and the other day when I was in here, there was an incoming tide And I thought that I would be clever, and I went up in here and I put a shrimp under a cork and let the tide take it down that channel that I cannot access, and I didn't get a bite. However, when I got on the outside, I caught two nice slot reds out here. We're in less than a foot of water, and I'm bumping right now. And I think I'm gonna go up in here and see what we can find. I'll let you know. Okay, I'm in about 2.8 foot of water in this little channel. I've thrown some spoons up in here and some plastics. And as you can see at the end of this channel, there's some mud on the right, some mud on the left. Big old gar up there, I think. I wonder if I caught that on film. We're 3 foot deep right here. And you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna go up just a little bit more. And I'm going to drop the power pole because I am convinced that right in this valley there are fish. So the first thing I'm going to try is this spoon and heave it as far as I can heave it. And work it back in here. Because you can see the current. And again, if you go back, is that a big old red or is that a big old, oh my gosh. That looks sort of like a big old red right there. Now again, the bay is coming in through this slough and feeding this back marsh that you really can't get into. And it just makes sense as there ought to be something here. Now again, behind me is the entrance of this little slough. And it doesn't make sense to me, but I caught two nice slot reds at the entrance of this rather than the exit. It would seem to me that they would be on the sides waiting to pick off stuff that came in. Rather than being on the outside as it got blown in. So I'm going to turn the camera off for a few minutes. If something strikes, you'll be the first to know after me. Well, we just caught us a nice red. He's none too happy about the world. We're going to see how big he is. Mr. Red. Mr. Red is 21 and a half inches. Beautiful slot red. Mr. Slot Red. Nice. And there he goes. know what you are. I saw your tail. $17. Little red, blue tail. Almost 21 and a half. Oh, it's pretty. Look at that tail. Yeah. I'm heading back to the boat ramp. Heading back over to Thompson's. Today was a pretty good day. Started fishing about noon and fished till about 4. And I think we caught 5 or 6 red. I think 2 or 3 of them were in the slot. Caught a bunch of sheephead up there by the Pylons. And of course, fishing back there in the Marsh, we caught the... we always catch stingray back there. I'm scared of stingray. They killed Crocodile Dundee. Or not Crocodile Dundee, but Steve Irwin. So I don't like them. All fish today were caught on shrimp on the bottom, dead shrimp on the bottom. And I threw a spoon. Didn't pick up anything. As a matter of fact, I'm dragging the spoon back to the boat dock right now. Also threw some plastics and didn't get any hits on the plastics up in the Marsh. But all in all, it was a good day. The only bad thing was that I lost another camera and mount and battery, and I have a tendency to do that. But the smart thing about it is that I buy the Costco cheap cameras that are about $50 a piece rather than the GoPros that are about $500 or $350, because I have a penchant to do that. The problem I have is to mount them to the boat in a way that I like, and I'll had it, and then it broke, and then I fixed it, and then it broke again. And so somewhere in the water is a mermaid getting her picture taken, and I hope she enjoys it. I'm a little puzzled by the Marsh. There are 3 little inlets on an ingoing tide that go into the Marsh from the bay. The cove around those 3 inlets are all about a foot, foot and a half, 2 foot deep. And all 3 of the little inlets drop down into 3 to 4 foot of water. They extend about 40 or 50 foot, maybe a little bit further than that. And then they empty into that marsh back in the back. And it would seem to me that fishing that channel and then fishing where the inlets empty into the back of the marsh would be the most productive. And it just hasn't been that way. I fished it the other day and I caught one redfish. And then I fished it again today, caught one redfish, which isn't bad, but it just seems like it would be more productive. Now here's where it really gets interesting. If I go to the outside cove where those three entrances are, even on an incoming tide, not an outgoing tide, but the cove where the three empty from the bay into the channels and then into the cove, if I go out there, I catch redfish. I caught 2 or 3 last time. A couple of them were in the slot. I caught 2 or 3 of them this time. I think one was in the slot. And the water's only about a foot, foot and a half, 2 foot deep. Now, that makes no sense to me. I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit more, because on an ingoing and outgoing tide, that just seems to be a place to be. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. A lot more talking today, a lot more instruction today. Let me know if you like these with me talking more, or if you like the music over them, or I can sing opera. I'll sing opera while I catch the fish. If I sing opera, I won't catch any fish. So we'll see you in a little while, guys. Have an amazing night. God bless you. Tight lines and stay safe.